Hey everybody, welcome back to the Gravity Ace Dev stream, starting right now. Thursday night, gonna go for about an hour-ish, and I'm not sure what I want to work on next. Hey there, Tiny Big. Yeah, shoot. Hey, Kurt. You guys hear me okay? I'm not wearing my headphones, so I can't hear myself because I have the hat on. Yeah, I had to code the whole thing. Let me show you. So, go into editor. All right, I've got this editor scene. But one of the things I have in here is this property editor, right? And this is a subscene. And that's where I have a method in there called add property or something. And what that does, add field, right? So in the property editor, it's blank, right? So in that thing, I give it a reference to, or a dictionary of the property that I want to add. So it has the type of the property, and it has the range for the property if there's a min and max. And then it just builds it, right? So if it's an integer, then it takes the hint string, and that hint string comes from things like, let me show you an enemy. Right, this variable, for example, the hint string is this, right, or this. Let me show you a better one. This guy is a better one. No? I'm trying to think of one that has a better... let me see. Here we go. So like something like this, right? It takes this hint string. So this is a exported variable that's an integer that goes from 0 to 98. So then if you go back to the property editor, property editor, and look at its script, you can see I'm splitting that string, I'm getting the min and max, or the min and max in step, and then it builds a slider for it. For an array, it builds I think a drop down, VBox, HBox, button, option button, right? If it's a string, it builds a text input. Adds a button, but then it adds a line edit, right? If it's a color, it adds an option button that lets you choose a color. If it's a bool, it's a check button. And so it just builds this interface dynamically in this scene. Not too bad, but you do have to, there's no like node that you can say to do this, right? You have to build it. I think I have a drinking problem. So, let me close out. Close. So, my to-dos. It's working on the coin problem. The last time we fixed this up so that after you collected some coins, it would power up the bullets. Hey, Vim. But after playing with it, actually, I don't think I like it. I think I might remove it. The way the levels are designed, I don't know. Powering up the gun isn't as useful as I had hoped it would be. So I'm going to rethink this a little bit. But what I think I'm going to do is, instead of continuing work on this when I'm not sure what to do next, is I'm going to do this. This is the same sort of thing, but instead of collecting coins, we're collecting people, and the people will buff the shields. And I think that will be more useful, but I'm really not going to know until I code it and play with it and see how it works. Hey, Vim, I didn't do anything for Vim Jam. I wanted to. I really wanted to. It's just been one of those weeks. Just been one of those weeks. Every time I think about starting it, I go, and then I didn't start it. I think it was giving me anxiety just thinking about doing another jam. I just think jams aren't for me anymore. Sorry, you guys, I was crunching ice. All right, so let's see. How did I do that? It was here, and I think that was it. So in here, right, I had collect coins. Ah, and it was in coin. So I want to do something like that in person. Pick up. Right? So in here, when the coins were collected, they called that, which counted how many were collected, and it did this on the player, which is this. What was it called? Start, pick up, power up. Start, pick up, power up. Which started a timer or changed the animation, right? So I want to do the same thing for this guy, right here. And it will be something like game.beamUpPerson. And I'll put it right there next to it, to this one. BeamUpPerson. I'm just using the same pattern for this new power up. For this one, I don't want to count progress. Yeah, I don't want to bother doing that. I just want to do this. Each person you collect is going to buff your shields. So it'll be start, shield buff. Let's call it power up. Because I called it power up here, I'll call it power up here. And then in the player, I need a start shield. Oops, power up. And I need a, so I need a timer. I'm going to just copy this guy. Duplicate. We'll call this shield power up timer. And then we'll do a, let's delete that. We'll connect this right there. All right. So this will turn off the animation. This will turn on the animation, and it will also do a shield power up timer start. Oops. I don't know what this guy's going to do yet, so I just have a pass in there. Pass in GDScript means do nothing. If I left it without that, it would cause an error. So that's just do nothing. Here's a function that does nothing, and it passes the error check, but I don't have to write the code yet. I can write it later. All right. Then, when the shield power up timer is running, I want to change the shield in some way, right? So let's look at our shield. Shield has health, has a starting health. It's 1. When you change the starting health, it calls this. Changes to that and changes the current health to that. And then when it's hurt, the health decreases. Shield down, shield up, blah, blah, blah. And when the shield comes back on, it goes back to its starting health, right? So this should be pretty simple. I should just be able to say my shield starting health equals 2. And this will be 1 again. Oops. Put those in the wrong spot. Right? So I think my shield can take 2 hits right now. There's not going to be any visual sign that this is working. So let's do a print. Shield power up. Started. And shield power up ended. Just do a couple of prints. This will be for 5 seconds. That's fine. Let's see how it works. Oh, let's do a test level. Test level. I need to put a person in here. Let's put some people in. Where's my peeps? Hey there, little dude. Let's put one there, just because it's fun. See how he's in range of the tractor beam? This is what I like about having the editor be in the game, because like all the physics and all the code, it's live, right? It's working. It's just not playing, you know what I mean? It's cool. Like all the collisions are still there. He'll collide with the wall. He's trying to get out. All right. Let's see how this works. So I'm going to hit this wall. 1 hit, right? That's a normal shield. 1 hit. But when I pick up this guy, for 5 seconds, I should be able to take 2 hits. 1, 2. Right, and then the timer ran out, so it's back to normal. So I should see a couple of prints down here. What should I see? I should see shield power up started and ended. There they are. Right? So that's nice. We did all the hard work Monday of figuring out how to do the power-ups, and now I just copied that same pattern for a new type of power-up, and it was easy, right? All the hard thinking was already done. Not sure I like doing this directly, but it's fine. It's fine for now. Actually, what would happen? I wonder what would happen if the shield is down when you beam somebody up. Let's look at an edge case. So, 1 hit shield, right? Now I'm going to hit this guy. I'm going to hit this, disable the shield, and beam him up. So, hit, beam. What does it come back as? 1. It's a 2. Look at that. It worked. All right, so that's an edge case, and now it should be back down to 1 again. Yep. There was 1 hit that was 2 hits. There was one hit right here. It was hard to see, and then another hit right here. So that all worked. I'm actually, it's nice. It's a nice surprise to not find any weird edge cases that aren't working. What is this? Error calling method from signal destroyed. Bullet hit not. Bullet hit method not found. What is this? Oh, it's bullet. Bullet hit and ship. Oh, okay. Remember, so the other thing I did was I refactored some of the bullets. I moved a bunch of code around, and what this is there's a signal in the ship connecting to the bullets that's trying to call this method, but because I moved it, it's not there anymore. So I need to look for in the ship, I need to look for destroyed. There it is. All right, it's this signal. Because bullet hit isn't here anymore. Bullet hit doesn't live here anymore. All right. Let's go ahead and commit that actually. It's getting a little nitpicky, but I don't want to commit this stuff. I just want to commit this. So I'm going to commit. How do I do this? Do I have to select it? I know there's a way to stage just these changes. Here we go. Yeah, so now it's just going to commit that. Fix removed code that's not needed because of bullet refactor. And then this will just have the new stuff, yeah. All right. So what we could do for the shield is we could say, we could give it like a color. We could give it a color change. That would be lazy and easy. I want to do more than that. I do want to do more than that at some point. The texture has a color in it, so that's a problem. Maybe I want to do a new animation. Something where like the shield is shooting out power or something. Right now the shield is just a static sprite. It doesn't do anything. All right, let's do this. I'm going to think about that, but I think what I want to do is I want to say shield power up and shield power down. And then in the shield, I'm going to have power up. And it will be this. And power down. And I don't want to just set this value. I actually want to call this because this does some extra stuff. And there's two ways to do that. You can actually just call this, which would be fine. And that's what I think I'm going to do. But the other way of doing it would be to do this. This is a little bit tricky, but what it's doing is it's saying, call this, set this on this object. And when you use this syntax, it tells Godot, if there's any setters or getters, call those. This just sets the value directly because you're already in the object where it's happening. So if you want to force it to call the setters and getters, you do that. And if you don't want to call the setters and getters, you do that if you're in this object. Normally, if you're calling this from another object, you would say shield dot whatever, right? And that would cause the setter and getter to be set. But since I'm inside the object, you have a choice. But because that is a little opaque to me, I'm just going to do that. Now there's no question what's happening. The setter is getting called. And I don't have to think about it, right? I just know this is what's happening. Yeah, see, because it does two things here. So the reason I did this was so that I can now have this play some animation or do a sound, right? I can do all kinds of stuff now and just put it here. And this doesn't need to change. I just know I'm powering up the shield or I'm powering down the shield. This code's done. If I want the shield to do anything special, the shield can do it. So it's a little wonky, right? The person starts this whole thing. It tells the game you beamed somebody up. Then the game tells the ship, the player, hey, start the shield power up because the player has a shield. Then the ship says, hey, shield, do your thing. And then the shield does whatever I needed to do. It's a little convoluted, but at least it's a straight line. I mean, it's a lot of things that are happening. It's a chain, but at least it's not. It could be worse. It could be worse. There's probably a more direct way where I could say, I could have the shield connect to every person or have every person connect its a signal to the player's shield. I don't know. I kind of don't like that because it's a little more opaque. It's a little more hidden. Like, where would I put that even? I could say in here, in each person. Well, so here's a problem, right? I could say in each person, look, when you're in the game, connect your signal to the player, right? Except the player may not exist at the same time that the person exists. So you can't do it here. So you could do it in the shield. You could say when the shield exists, find all the people in the level and connect to them. But then the shield has to enumerate all the objects in the level, scan through them all, find all the people, connect a signal to each one. It seems awful. Another way to do it would be to have something in the game that just when this whole level is loaded, that it connects certain signals, it connects certain things to each other. But then you have things happening in your shield, for example. You would have this in your shield, right? But it wouldn't be clear who's calling it or when. You know what I mean? So I think this is fine. It's going to call beam up person. It's in game. It happens when the person's beamed up. Very straightforward. You look in game. Oh, look, there it is. Starts the shield power up in the player. Cool. Shield power up. All right, cool. Does a thing on the shield. It's simple. You know, at least it's easy for me to understand. That's easier for me to understand than some signal that I can't figure out where it's coming from or who's calling this function. I mean, signals have their place. I use them all the time. I just don't feel like it's the right pattern for this. I could be wrong. I reserve the right to change my mind later. All right. So in the shield then, if I wanted this to do something special, all right, there's my disable animation. Here's my recharge animation. Here's my enable animation. And all it's doing is it's just taking the sprite and making it visible or making it invisible. So I think what I want to do is change this to an animated sprite, first of all. So let's change its type to animated sprite. And I'm going to add some frames, but I'm just going to add one. I'm going to add ship, textures, shield. Tiny big games, tiny build games. I was thinking big huge games. That's what I think of. I don't know if you guys remember them. They made a game I spent way too much time on called Rise of Nations. Oh, I'd still be playing that game today if I could. I think this needs to be, maybe I'm using the wrong texture here. I think it's this one. Did I delete the wrong one? Yeah, there it is. All right. Right, so I've got it's an animated sprite, but it's not playing anything. It's just, the default is just one frame. Right, it's fine. But now I can add another animation for power up. And that one can do something different. And like right now, I can just put in one frame. And then I can put in the code here to say sprite.play power up, or sprite.play default. And I want to put that in here as well. Right, so when the shield is first created, it's going to play this default animation. When it's power up, it's going to play the power up animation, and when it's powered down, it's going to go back to default. Right now, the animation is the same, so you won't see anything. But I'm going to change this, so we've got some cool frames. So let's see what we can do here. I use a old bamboo Wacom art tablet. It's a small one. It's like 8 inches or something. I've lost my pen. It's supposed to be here, but I knocked over all of my pens today and just put them all back into a different place. All right, let's open up the shield first. See how big this sprite is. 64 by 64. I don't think that's big enough. It's fine when there's no animation happening on it, but I want to do an animation on it, so I'm going to make it just twice as big. I'm going to copy you. Put it right in the center. Should be right there somewhere. 32, 32, right there. Right? So now I've got all this room all around it to do a cool animation. And I'm not sure I even drew this in this app. See how it's all anti-aliased? I didn't even draw this in Sprite. I think because I wanted the shield to appear smooth, right? It's one of the few objects in the game that appears smooth. It's not blocky like everything else in the game. So that's fine. That's fine. So I'm going to use that as the base. If I click this, what it's going to do is it's going to make one frame, right? However many frames I make, it's going to use the same art for all of them. They're all linked, right? So I can just say, I can add something there, and it'll be in every frame. So that'll be my base, and I'm going to animate on top of it. And I want to do, oh heck, let's just go for it. Let's do some cool electricity to start. We'll do some cool electricity just so we can see what it looks like. Actually, let's do some like little glow effects. Glow. So we'll take this opacity down. This is also something I don't do very often when I'm animating an sprite, but for glows and things like that, I do mess around with opacity. Usually everything's 100% opaque. So this is easy. What I'll do is I kind of want this glow to be a little wiggly. So I'm going to just draw in a little wiggly bit and then blur it. And then go to the next frame, do a little wiggle, blur, right? And you can see it's kind of, see how it's fluctuating there? It'll be subtle, but hopefully it'll be cool. Blur. You could do this by copying, I suppose. Like you could do it a few times or do it for less frames or something. And it'd be fine, probably. But it wouldn't be the same. I don't know if anybody's going to notice, but I like to think that people I like to think that people, even though they may not consciously notice things, they do notice them subconsciously. And so even if nobody ever told me about it, like, oh, wow, man, I love the way that glow on the shield really wiggled. I love how it fluctuated or whatever. Probably nobody's going to ever say that. But maybe they'll feel like, wow, the shield really felt extra powerful, but I can't put my finger on it. Right? That would be fine. Right? So it's hard to see, but because it'll show up better on a dark background, but it's doing a little something in there. And then this, I'm going to call it electricity. And we'll just go back to frame 1 again and start putting in some electricity. And these, I am going to make them 100% and with a 1 pixel cursor. So these, the way I've been doing electricity is I kind of like to do like a jagged line, right? Something like that. And then it will appear and then kind of move a little bit and then zap out and fade away. So it'll be like something like that, and then see that? And then I'll just go ahead and do another one like here. I just realized I'm making noises. Actually don't like that one. Delete. And then let's do one that goes down. Let's go, oh, I know. This would be kind of cool. Well, we'll have one like arc across. So it'll be like, right? And then, look at that. So the way that that merged with this other one, where it looks like it's shooting across and then triggering that one off. Kind of cool. And see, these don't have to be like super detailed because it's literally just playing in one frame, right? And lots of other stuff's going to be happening on the screen at the same time. You just need to get a nice feel. Let's do one right here too. Let's do. You can do too much, so you gotta be careful about that. And I'm not even sure I'm gonna like these, but let's just keep going. Let's do here. Yeah, I kind of don't. Actually, now that I'm seeing this, see how repetitive it is? You're going to be seeing this over and over and over again. Well, I don't know. Let's call it shield power up. And then we'll export it. And we'll give it a... Yeah, I mean, that's fine, right? It's got all the frames in there. Shield power at PNG. So we can go back to Godot now, and I can take these out and replace them with this. There it is. I have 4 horizontal frames and 3 vertical frames, right? I want to select all those frames and add them. And then I want to change the speed of this animation to like 12. It's going to loop, right? And when I play it, right, you can see it. You can see it going. Let's see how it looks. Let's see how it looks in the game. So here's my standard shield. Ooh, so boring. What a standard shield. And then I pick up this guy. There we go. Now you know something's happening. Yeah, that looks like the wrong animation. People are going to be like, oh no, what did I do? Something's wrong. My shield's glitching out. Maybe what I want to do is be more direct. Maybe, you know, if the shield has 2 power bars, maybe what I want to do is actually create a second shield. And maybe it should just last as long as it lasts. So you could actually see both shields, and it just lasts as long as it lasts. Once you've destroyed the extra shield, it's gone. So there wouldn't be a timer anymore. Kind of like that idea. It's always fun. I'm going to turn this into a hammer throwing game at some point. All right, let's try that. Yeah, I don't like that. Delete. Actually, undo. I might come back to it. Meantime, let's just do that. That way I don't have to change any code. The code I've written, it's written. It's doing a thing. It just looks, it's just the same thing. That's all. Yeah, maybe what I want to do is say, I'm not going to change the health. Not going to change the health. But what I'm going to do is and I won't start a timer either. Let's take the timer out. Let's make this not be a timer-based power-up. Right? Instead, we'll have it create a sub-shield. So, shield, preload, shield, there it is. Right. And then we can say, let's add a variable here so we can see if we're powered up or not. Buffed false. So here we'll say buffed equals true, buffed equals false. Right? If not buffed, buff shield equals second shield equals shield dot instance. Add child. I'm going to add it as a child of myself. And I'm going to say second shield dot scale vector 2, something like that, just slightly bigger than 1. So the second shield will be slightly bigger than this shield. getting a little complicated because this is like a recursive scene now. Does this have any signals? No. So when that second shield needs to know when it gets hit, it doesn't just hurt and go away. It should disable itself permanently. But how is it going to know it's the second shield? I have to tell it, right? And it's going to have to tell the main shield that it's gone. So maybe I'll add a signal. Let's do shield hit, right? Move my graphics tablet out of the way. So when the shield gets hit, it's going to emit a signal right here. Right. And then I want to say second shield dot connect. Oops. Shield hit with this power down. So I'm creating a second shield, making it a little bigger, and connecting its hit signal to myself, which is the parent shield, and it'll call the power down method when that shield gets hit, which will change myself back to be unbuffed, and we will name this guy that, and power up shield, we'll call it that. And then I can do let's not do it with names. Let's create a reference. We'll create a reference. Power up shield equals null, right? Do that. And here I can just say if power up shield, do that. And this isn't going to quite work right. It's going to have a weird animation, I think, because you're going to see the shield destroy itself, but you're not going to hear any sounds. Like all of its normal sounds, shield going down won't play. So I think I want to do something more sophisticated here, but let's just see if that works. Why not? Maybe you can't preload yourself inside of yourself. Can I do that? Nah. Can I do that? Hey, Peter. All right, one shield. Still only one shield. All right, so that's not working. Here's probably a clue. Hmm. Don't know why, but okay. I'll play your way. Yeah, this is more complicated than I thought it would be because the shield does all kinds of stuff where it's trying to connect to the parent. And if I just create a new one as a child of this guy, but maybe I can just make it a child of the parent. Let's just try that. It's quick and dirty. Quick and dirty just to see if it works. I can clean it up later. It seemed to work, but I've got no visible change. What? Whoa. Hey, everybody. Funky Monk 420 and crew. Thanks for dropping in. It's going well. You've arrived just in time for me to show you a bug and some code that's not working. Just not working at all. And no errors. Let's do this. Don't like this at all. But let's just see. 'Cause it feels like it's working. It's just I'm not seeing it visually. Still not. So weird. I feel like it should be working. Game. Level. Ship. There's the first shield. There's the second shield. And the scale on this guy is the same. It didn't change. And the scale on this did change, but it's not showing properly. Thanks for the follow, Dolphin Skull. That has a dark name. I like it though. Dolphin Skull. I'm just picturing a dude like living in a post-apocalyptic water world, and he's got a belt with just like 10 dolphin skulls hanging off of it. Okay, cool. Cool. Well, so it is setting that. Right? It's just not. Why isn't it showing correctly? Is it because maybe, oh, you know what? Maybe it's because in my animation player I scale the shield. Visible, modulate. No. Am I setting the scale anywhere in here? Nope, just right there. How about disable? Visible, modulate, no. No. Should be showing it at the new scale. I'll run one more time in case I'm crazy. One shield. It's still one shield. But if I look at the remote tree again, there's the game. There's my level. There's my ship. The ship has a shield and a second shield. And if I unpause it, actually that second shield, is it still there? Oh no, it's not there anymore because the player's gone. It's like it's not getting added to the game. Maybe the order of those is wrong. Let's try that. This is one of the reasons why programming isn't for everybody. You need to have a high tolerance for tedious behavior. No errors. Right, no errors. There's some errors. Yeah, so you just can't, it doesn't like being added here because it's a rigid body, it's a physics shape. Trying to do it outside of the physics step, you're doing some weird stuff, and it's the game's like telling you this isn't going to work the way you expect it to work. Which makes sense. Maybe there's a simpler way to do this. Instead of doing this all dynamically, instead of doing this all dynamically, I can just take the shield and just add a second one, right? power up. Like that. And make this bigger. Right? And yeah, that's fine. Keep the same collision. Yeah, that's all fine. So I won't need this. And I won't need this. And I will say powerup sprite dot hide, right? Right? When the shield first comes into the world, the power-up sprite's going to be hidden. But here, I want to say show. And then I think I'm going to go back to the prior implementation. I'm going to take away this buffed variable. And I'm going to say set starting health 2 and set starting health 1. Right? So I'm going to say make your health 2. Make your health 2. Show the power-up sprite. I don't need that or that. Yeah, let's leave them. And they're not actually doing anything. It's fine. And then this will do power-up sprite dot hide. I won't need the signal. Yeah, and then here I want to say when it gets hit, when the shield gets hit, where's the hurt function? I don't want that. So when the shield gets hit, I want to say if powerup sprite dot visible power down. Right? Let's see how that works. This is simpler. I already like it better because it's simpler. Basic single shield. Yep. BAP, right? One hit. Pick up this guy. Double shield. Hit. Oh. Hit. And then I get my single shield back, right? Here we go. BAP. BAP. That was interesting. So there's some edge cases here, right? Like when the shield is powering up and I grab that, right? It looks like it's on, but it actually wouldn't be, I don't think. Let me see. Hit that, right? See, the shield's not actually active at that point because the inner shield is the one that's actually controlling the collision. So that's a bit of an issue. But I do think I like that better than doing some kind of special animation on it or something. Although, you know what I could do? Oh, shoot, why am I even doing this? You know what I could do? I mean, another problem here is if you look at the shield, right, this extra shield, see how jaggy it is? It's because I'm scaling it weird. I don't know why I didn't think of this sooner, but what I actually need to do is not do this. I don't need to do anything special here. Power up sprite, blah, blah, blah. I need to just draw. I just need to draw the power up sprite with 2 shields. Right? Normally it's just this. But what I'll do is I'll just draw the second shield. So when it's playing the power up animation, you'll see 2 shields, and then it'll go down to the power down, which is just the 1 shield again. So simple. Yeah, so simple. So if I take this, copy, this isn't going to be how I'm going to actually do it, but I just want to test out my theory here and see how it works. Paste. Do a little horrible scaling here. And then recenter this guy. Right. And we'll call this the, let me delete all of this. Gotta be not afraid to delete stuff. You can just draw it again, it's fine. Let's change this to this. And I'm going to take all of this stuff. How do I copy everything? Copy merged. Paste. Right, so there's my shield power up. So then I just need to change this animation here. Delete. Just want that. Right, so it's going to look like an awful shield for now. I'm going to work on the art later. There's the default. There's the power up. Default, power up, default, power up. Let's make default the default. So now, yeah, when the shield is going to double its health, and it's going to play the power up version. Single health, default version. Power down happens if health, actually you just always do power down, right? Every time it gets hit, it's going to do power down. That should be fine. I'm not sure if that's fine, but it'll be fine for now. So I don't know if you guys follow me on YouTube or whatever, but I did post a new short format devlog this morning. And I'm going to start doing that some more. I'd kind of put it on hold when this whole, worldwide pandemic thing happened. Oh, look at that. And then bonk. Oh, yeah. Bonk. Oh. Now it just won't go away. Oh, I know why. See, I can't do it every time because because it's changing the health, right? Every time back to 1, so it won't die now. If else. So this will only power down if there's still health remaining after it got hit. So this should turn off. And now the edge case should go away, right? There it is. Oh yeah, it's working. All right, so I just need better art now. But I do kind of like that, right? It's visible. You've got 2 shields now because you picked up the dude. And what I'm going to do too is I'm going to have like, when you pick up the dude, right here, he'll like beam up, and then there'll be like a little talk bubble or something saying, you know, hey, let me fix up those shields. Let me give you a shield boost. Thanks for the lift. I'm going to give you a shield boost. And the shield appears, right? And there'll be a special sound. So you'll know you've got it. And then your shield will just have double power until you get hit. And then the extra one will just disappear until you pick up another guy, get another shield boost. That's the idea. So, yeah, I put out a video this morning, short form video, where I just talk about what it's like to be a beginner. And because I get the question a lot, people see this and they're like, how did you do that? How can I do that? How did you learn to draw? How did you learn to program? I felt like people were getting discouraged by seeing what I was doing, because they felt like I don't know how you did that. And I feel like I'll never be good enough to do that. And so I'm going to quit. That's how I felt like a lot of people were thinking. So I made this video to show you, actually, I have a lot of problems. I mean, you guys just saw me, right? It's hard to do this stuff. And so I made this video this morning. It's on my YouTube channel. You can go to gravityace.com and see it. But basically just talking about how hard it is to do this stuff, and nobody's perfect, and it's cool. It's fine. It just takes a while, to learn to do it. So if you find yourself in that boat, maybe go check it out. I hope it helps you out a little bit. Gives you a little motivation to keep trying. The struggle is real, but the struggle is worth it. I'm going to do another video in a couple of days, maybe Monday-ish, where I talk about a little bit more on the topic. I'm going to talk about how, some practical things you can do in terms of like finding tools that you like, learning your tools, picking a programming language, picking an engine, stuff like that, that I hope will be useful to some people as well. And then I got a request today to talk about the architecture of the game a little bit more. I've gotten a few different requests for this, so what I'm working on right now is I'm trying to put together some diagrams. It's not working. But I'm trying to put together some diagrams of basically how the game is structured, what the different scenes are, how you move, how the transitions happen between the scenes, how my entities are composed, how does the ship talk to the bullets, that sort of stuff. So I'll probably do another video about that soon. Getting back into doing these short form scripted videos is tough because it's just so time consuming to make them. But I do like the format, and there's things that you can do. It's nice to have a concise, short video that gets to the point instead of coming to a stream and watching me ramble for an hour. Yeah. So I think that's it for today, guys. I'm going to call it a little bit short. I'm going to stream again on Saturday at noon Pacific, and that one we'll probably go for a couple hours. Feel free to come back, ask questions. I'm happy to help anybody if they have questions about anything in particular. I've been toying with the idea of doing like an office hours where I can just help people do their programming problems or whatever. Or just come and watch and lurk. That's cool too. In search of followers, primes, and views, come big follows. Great. There's the spam. I'm hitting the big time when the spam starts hitting. If you're new, you don't know who I am, please go to gravityace.com. You can check out my website, There's a link there to my Discord. Come join the Discord. Say hi. Follow me on Itch. Wishlist the game on Steam. It is up there right now. And please tell everybody you know about it. I would really appreciate it. Would love more people to know about Gravity Ace before I go into early access. That's it. I guess I'll see you guys on Saturday. Hope to see you then. Have a good Friday, everybody.